Hello YouTube, Lost in the Woods here. Thought I'd bring you guys in on a couple projects I'm working on. It's November the 16th today, getting ready to come into the Christmas season, and I figured I'd make a couple knives. My oldest son is 8 now. He's got a pocket knife and a multi-tool, but plan on making him a real knife. We do bushcraft and things like that while we're out in the woods. I think it's time for him to have a real knife, one that hopefully he'll be able to use for his lifetime and maybe become a family heirloom. Made a couple knives in the past. I participated in the Bushcraft USA forum, their self-made knife swap a couple different times. Made 2 knives there. I think I've always got the better end of the deal, of course. First knife I made was just a 4-inch bushcraft style knife. Nothing fancy, had lacewood scales. Turned out pretty nice for my first try, I think. Had a convex grind. Second knife I made was a trout and bird knife. Little 1 3/4, 2-inch blade. Just a nice little field dressing knife. Made my own G10 scales. Made all the leather work for them myself. I think it turned out alright. Got nice knives in the exchange. First one was probably a 6 or 7-inch file knife. I'll post pictures of them in the video as I go on. The other was I think it was a Ontario blade that he rescaled and ground out to be like a buffalo skinner knife. It was really, really nice knives, both of them. And I'm going to make 3 knives this Christmas. At least that's the plan right now. For Backpackrider, my son, be this one, kind of my own design. I'll post a better picture of it as I go along. It's got about a 4 1/4-inch blade, a little bit of a belly to it, nothing spectacular, going to be a Scandi grind. The main difference between it and a regular bushcraft knife is the top of the blade is exposed a little bit above the top of the handle. I think it'll give him a little more meat to hold on to, be a little safer with it that way. Going to put camouflage G10 scales on it. He loves everything camouflaged. Going to make him a kydex sheath and a leather sheath for it. Going to make a knife for my middle stepbrother. We'll call him No Hair Norman. This is the pattern for it. I can't really see it that well that way. Here we go. We'll flip it the other way. It goes the other way on this piece of steel, but that's the way it looks. It's going to be a big skinner. Well, not big. I guess it's just going to be a skinner. Going to do the scales in probably walnut of some kind. The steel I'm making it out of is actually an old field disc plate. Actually really nice steel. I haven't made a knife out of it yet. Not sure what kind of steel it is, but I know when I cut it, it was really hard to cut, and it threw really nice fiery sparks. It wasn't throwing sparks like a piece of just soft common steel does. Threw it like it's got some carbon in it. Looks like it's going to be a nice piece of steel to work with. About 1/8 of an inch thick. The blade itself is about 3 5/8 long. Has a big belly on it. Be nice to skin with. He's a big deer hunter. And the next knife I'm making this Christmas is going to be for Bondo Bob. Bondo Bob got me a couple files. Great big monster files. I mean, you can see it. That's where my fingers are. There is 9 inches, and I've still got, good grief, enough for a whole nother knife out of it. And I've got a half dozen of these that he gave me. Gonna make him one. It's gonna be a Scandi grind, similar to a Mora blade style. Gonna finish it so that you can still see the file contour at the top, so you can still see that it was made of a file. A little thicker than I had planned. Sounds like somebody's shooting a cannon in the woods across the road. They've been doing it all day long. I don't know what they're doing, but every time they do, it rattles the windows. Blade's a little thicker than I care for on something like this. I like a knife with a thinner blade. 1/8 to, I don't know, 3/16 is usually what I prefer personally. This one is probably closer to 5/16 maybe, but not a big deal. We can work with that. Here's the pattern for it. I'm gonna make a nice finished. Of course, this is backwards. There we go. I'm gonna make a nice finished maple burl handle with some cork finish and accent to it. There are 3 knives. This video here, I'm gonna make this part 1 through whatever it takes. It's gonna be for Backpackrider's knife. It's gonna be the main video in the series. The other ones, when they come out, I'll make one for Bondo Bob. I'll make one for him specifically, and I'll also make one specifically for Norman's knife. I'll let you go for now. Probably going to go right now into some shop work. We'll cut away here and take you into it. If you have any questions, post them below. Feel free to send me a message. I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said before, I'm not a big knife maker, but I have made some in the past. I think they turned out all right, and hopefully going to make some nice Christmas gifts this year. Talk to you later. Alright guys, it's been about 2 weeks since I shot the intro video. I've been waiting on steel. I ordered it from one company, and turned out they didn't have it 1.5 inches, so ended up having to order it from Jan Steel, but it arrived a couple days ago. I've been working on No Hair Norman's knife, so that video, the link to that one's below. Hopefully I got all these posted in the right order, so this will make sense. Got it posted below. Check it out. Think about calling it the tornado knife. Family and I spent a little bit of time in the basement. There were tornado warnings here in southern Ohio, so spent some time down there. Luckily for me, I was able to file. They just hung out and read while we were down there. But finally got the steel for Backpackrider's knife. It's 1095, high carbon, cold rolled, annealed steel. It's supposed to be super friendly to work with, soft, easy to file, easy to get along with. There it is. Now we're gonna get to work. Backpackrider's knife cut out. That steel is super soft. It cuts really nice. It cuts nicer than anything I've messed with before. So, in my opinion, cold rolled annealed is the way to go. The 4.5 inch die grinder went right through it. It's really nice. So now we're ready to go to the grinder, the bench grinder, and clean it up some before we hit it with a file. Got a Backpackrider's knife all cut out, roughed out, Put it on the bench grinder just before my battery died the last time. I don't know what it is with me and batteries. Got it all roughed out. Hit it with the bench grinder. Got it cleaned up. Now I'm going to finish file the profile to get it exactly how I want it. I'm going to do all that with a hand file. Don't want to take off too much in the wrong place with a machine. Don't trust myself enough. So I'm out in the barn again, shooting this part of the video because I can't do it in the house. I can't talk about it in the house because this is for a Christmas present and he's pretty sharp. I don't want to let on that I'm working on this. He knows I'm working on 2 other knives. So the filing and noise from the basement doesn't mean a whole lot, but if he sees this one, he'll recognize it because this is the one he picked out of the designs that I had drawn up. So we'll finish this this part of the series on Backpackrider's knife here. We'll make part 2 about filing the profile, starting on the bevel. We'll talk a little bit about the 2 different ways I've got to bevel, to grind bevels, and we'll see you on the next one. Till then, be safe. We'll talk to you later.